If I'm them, I just try and completely forget. I mean, I just wipe it from my brain. I'm just like, I don't want to take any of the positives from that. I don't want to take any of the negatives. Like, look, like we got to get used to land. We got to get used to live event environment.
Yeah.
Like, let's just
The other
wipe that one
challenges are
off.
not going to be that hard.
Right.
No.
I mean, honestly, like that match doesn't matter to them. I mean, look, you expected to lose a Splice anyway. It's like as long as you win those other 2 games, which are going to be a little bit closer, you can still get through out of this group.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, I think that kind of wraps up our analysis, so thank you very much for that, gentlemen. What we are going to do is go to a very quick commercial break, but coming up after this, it is going to be Aware versus Fab. Don't go anywhere.
He recibido varias novedades que ver. Le irá bien.
Nos confirman que hay enemigos del SDF desplegados.
Much closer than it needed to be, though. Mad Cat winds up. Thankfully, though, there Hesk there to close out the round. You can see 3 players involved in that kill. Happy to see that as they've made some improvements going into that round number 2. Got ourselves a 1-1 game again as Bando are making sure these games remain close, and that's a good sign of things to come because remember, the top 2 in this pool make it on into that championship bracket. So if this Bando team can play this well against the likes of Aware and Fab, then we could very well see them moving on into that championship bracket. Would not put it past them at all. But first, they've got to do their best in this series. Jerd, again, with the sniper getting first blood first team for 2 rounds in a row.
Yes, and here we go with Bance. He's going to find that kill, and this is looking very good for Splice. It just seems that the attack is so dominant.
And I mentioned these teams needing to adapt, Bando needing to make sure that they stay on top of their game against Splice, and there's a quick 4 up, 4 dead for Bando. But that time, you immediately had Josh laying down, watching their flank, so there was no opportunity for a pinch or a fluky play to come in. Here's your final kill cam from Bance yet again. One of the heroes of this Splice squad last year in the first season of the CWL, still impressing now as we move into Infinite Warfare.
That's it. It's stuck with the organization now with some new recruits as well. And the guys on the analyst desk were talking about this, you know, is this potentially the new generation of God Squad that we have here?
Let's swap on over to Jerd. Does he still have the sniper rifle? Doesn't appear so. Hesk, though, does for the side of Bando, which beautiful grenade there to even things back on out. And are they prepared for him to push around this corner? He has the EMC, but because he's got the sniper, this is not the weapon he wants to have. Gets one, makes it a 1v1. Thankfully for that cover, tough shots to land if you're Hesk. Did what he could with only having that secondary pistol, but we'll go ahead and watch it now from Jerd's perspective. Stays calm, stays behind cover, and there, K-Bar versus a pistol. I take K-Bar every time.
Yeah, I mean, very aggressive play with just the sidearm, but I feel given the situation, he didn't really have any chance there. He was caught right out in the open, had to go for that challenge.
I didn't mind it at all. He really didn't even have to pick up enough time to pick up a weapon that would even be on the ground. So now Splyce with a 2-round lead. They're back on offense. Mad Cat playing the objective for this team. Briggs currently 0-4 on the side of Bando. The team's essentially playing a 3 versus 4, which is not a good sign at all. As 3 players are now stacked on the drill, this could spell disaster. 2 now dead. There's the trade. 1 versus 1. And Splyce wind up taking it there. Again, Splyce trading efficiently.
And this is going to be a very quick search and destroy if we carry on at this rate. I mean, this is already 5 rounds in. Splyce looking very, very strong. Only 1 attacking round has been won by Bando. Now let's see how they fare up now if they get the attack again.
I really, really do like the roles of this Splyce team right now. And I think that they're only going to develop and flourish even more as this weekend goes on. And I think it's all led by Mad Cat with that NV4. They're so sure of his ability to shoot. I mean, this is the guy that many regard in North America, pro players, as the best EU player of all time. He's played in North America. He's lived there at a point to try to further his Call of Duty career. Now, against some of the top European squads this weekend, you expect him to excel. 3 now dead again on the side of Bando. It's a 1 versus 2. JME left last alive.
Let's see what he can produce from this, as he needs to do something very, very special here. They cannot go to the match point. If they take this 5-1, Splyce are just going to be running away with this, so a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
And look at your map again. Staying active is the correct way to play this.
Ooh.
If you're on the side of Splyce, oh God, some miserable shots right there. As that will now be a 5-1 round lead in favor of Splyce. Here it is again, though. They stay active, and Josh lays down and just absolutely destroys him there with the ERAD. Out now with North American teams. Will they begin to enlist some of those legendary submachine gun players to use this in the current meta? We have a potential James Bond alert now with the 0-7 with Briggs this round, so we'll have to see if that winds up developing into a true statement as things play on out. Grenade comes in. JME with first blood. Will Splyce back on up. Well, they don't have to worry. They've got Jerd with the sniper, and the flank now coming in from Josh. Unfortunately, the weaknesses of the submachine gun still shown there, as that little bit of range still throws off the weapon. Bance should have a call from his teammate. Will he begin to push in towards his close door? There it is. Challenges Briggs. Not going to work out for him there. Briggs will get the kill. All the streaks in the world, though, for Jerd. 10-2 with the sniper rifle. Absolutely great gameplay. He'll ping the map as well and see exactly where his opponent is.
Oh, and surely.
Oh, God. Rewinds back out. Still hasn't closed the game out yet.
Yeah, and that was a very rushed rewind there. I don't think that's when he wanted to be using it particularly, but again, had no choice. He's wanting to close this out now.
Yeah.
And he has decided to go for that plan. It has gone down. Here comes the chase, though, and he's not going to latch on. He's revealed his position. Hesk is in trouble.
Oh, gosh, I was actually not ready for him to try to do this. Calls the Scorchers right away, and that's going to be a misplay.
Wow.
On the side of Jerd, kind of panics and tries to use those streaks to close out this map. But you could see Hesk was immediately chasing, following that kill, right? He saw him go into that back control area, so he just pushes him right inside the deck and decides, hey, I'll just push you before the Scorchers even get down. Not only does he get behind cover, but he cleans up the kill to make this one a 5-2 game.
Yeah.
Side of Bando not out of it yet.
I mean, that was huge play from Hess there. He forced Jerd to use the rewind and used what is considerably a powerful score streak as well for Search and Destroy. Great plays from him, but still a long way to go if they want to be able to take this. Let's stay on board with Hesk. Seems to be the top performer for Bando right now.
Yeah, I think another thing, too, to point out is Jerd winds up using 2 streaks there in that round. So, hey, the game does go on longer. Something to keep an eye on. Hess trying to be the opener now with the active camo. But look at how Splyce played this. They've sat so far back. Finally, it does look like one has been cut down. This will put it into a 3v3. Jerd does his final streak, but that's a big kill. That you need to get if you're Hesk. Mad Cat now cut down. And just like that, a winnable round goes to shut down Splyce, up 2-0. Taking care of business. That one was a little bit easier than that first respawn.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of occasions there that we just saw some sloppy shooting from Bando, and it really has cost them. We could have been seeing potentially a tied game at the moment if they'd have managed to clutch up in those rounds, but no, they have been denied, and once again, Splyce victorious, 2-0 in the series.
And this is where it worries me, because Uplink is a game mode for me that separates the good teams from the best teams. And on a map that we're going to be seeing in Frost, where control of the certain lane of the map is so key, as we get into it, we'll touch on it a little bit more. I'm worried now if you're a Bando fan, which wondering how many there are out there, you've got one in me, Bando. If you can take a map off Splice, you've done better than a lot of teams will ever do. Let's go ahead and take a look at your scoreboard, though, with you got Jerd 11-3. Monster game from him, a plant as well. Mad Cat 7-4, Josh 7-5, and then Bant sitting at 5-6. 1-8, though, from Briggs. Rough game from him. Want to see how he bounces back now as we head into the uplink.
Yeah, absolutely. And Briggs just having such a tough time. And Call of Duty, with these games, it's one of them things where people don't like to associate kills with the victory or the defeat. But when it comes to search and destroy, I mean, 1-8 is just, it's not acceptable.
Yeah, and I believe only 1 assist there with his team. So we will get game 3 started up right away. Match 1 of a very long 4-day weekend of Call of Duty action here in Europe. Right now, what time is it in North America? 3:47 p.m. here. So people are waking up. People are starting to wake up on the East Coast. They've got some European Call of Duty action to watch.